Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live. It is year 2026, and the date is March 25th, 2026. Right before this live, we were talking about how the weather is getting warmer at different places and unusually warm because March, I'm in Texas, it's supposed to be cold. It's like getting into the 80s, 90s, and Lakshmi is in around the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's supposed to be cold there, and it's actually warm there, so it's unusual. So let's, along with the geopolitical situation around the planet, it seems like the temperature is rising everywhere as well. Before we start our Facebook Live, I wanted to do some public service announcement. One of the things is we do reading of A New Earth, the book A New Earth, and The Power of Now on alternate weekends. So please watch the featured section. We would love for more and more readers to come. Lakshmi does a fantastic job of kicking us off every time that we do the reading, and we're going like about 3 or 4 pages at a time because we go line item by line item and then discuss it in depth so that all of us get a better understanding of what Eckhart is saying. With that, I will welcome our panel, and our most beloved person is back after a very long time. April is a spiritual teacher. She's a medium, she's a psychic, and has quite a few modalities of healing under her belt. So welcome, April. So honored to have you back. And then we have Lakshmi here, who is part of a core group of meditators. She leads our sessions whenever we have workshops in mantra chanting. Thank you, Lakshmi, for being here. We have Patricia as well. Good evening, Patricia, part of our group meditation group. And then Wyatt is here too. And Sri Lakshmi has joined online. Let me check what question I might have. Okay, this is a good one. So my questions are, sorry about the pause. I have questions copied from something that would have been asked off of Eckhart Tolle or Dr. Joe Dispenza in one of their Q&As. I think this may be from Eckhart. Francesca, Louise, Josie, and I have been taking the Teacher of Presence course, and it comes from that course. Here it's, this person says, April, if you want to get started, how to not become passive and naive. There are souls that are separate from others and inflict so much pain and suffering. I have compassion for them. My compassion is so strong that I might abandon this form from experiences of the past. I don't know how that relates. How do I have compassion and still stand up for myself?
Okay. So when you start practicing Eckhart practices, and I've talked about this. I had this weird experience where you don't take anything personally. You don't get upset by anything. And when you learn to not take anything personally, you learn to be aware of your ego and your pain body, and then you can see that in others. And then when you fully accept that everybody is on their own journey as their own soul, and that wherever they are is where they are, and that is okay, there is this kind of acceptance for all. There is this non-judgment that comes in, and there is this space where you're kind of not sure, like, am I just letting everything go? Am I just not attached to everything? Do I just don't have any feelings? Do I, not care? But I don't think that that's becoming passive. There's a difference between being passive and getting walked on and getting used and abused, and learning to let go and to not get upset and to practice acceptance. So, one of the first things that you have to learn to do is to love yourself and love yourself unconditionally. That's one of the most important things. And acts of self love actually reverberate out into the world. So it's actually an act of self love that ends up going out. So, for example, if you are going to the gas station and somebody cuts in front of you, you could get upset, you could be rude, you could make a fuss, or you could choose to let it go, let that person be in front of you, not take it personally, because those negative emotions are not good for you. So you're practicing an act of self love that ends up reverberating out to others. We then are not lashing out at the person that cut it in front of us. We're not responding. We're not causing a fuss. It's an act of self love that ends up going out. So that's the most important thing. That's the first thing to do and to notice. So let's see. There are souls that they are separate from us. Yeah, separate from others. Yeah. If you have self-love though, you will have boundaries because you will care about yourself, and you can still love someone. You can love them as a soul. You can love them for the journey that they're on, but that doesn't mean that you need to be around them or that you need to put up with abuse. You can also put distance between you. You could maybe not speak to them as much. So you don't have to actually deal with it. Um, what do you think he means by they are separate from others? Do you think that means like their soul, or what do you think?
I think they mean like how my understanding of it was as though how Eckhart says that when you're separate from, when you create that me, mine, this is my group, this is my religion, this is, then
Mm,
you're separate from others, right? You're causing a this is my Republican Party or this is my Democratic Party. When you create that me, mine, I, then you're separate from another, then you've made the other an enemy,
hmm
right?
yeah,
So maybe when they feel that separation, then they go ahead and now you become an enemy, you become an other, and I
yeah,
can inflict as much pain and suffering on you as possible.
yeah. And that's the whole problem, isn't it? Is that we
Yes.
see each other as separate when actually we're all souls that have come from the same source, that are really essentially on the same journey. We're just in different spaces on that journey. Or that's it. But we're all the same. So yeah, the thing is if you actually have true love and compassion for yourself, you won't treat others that way. And then you will do what's needed to create those boundaries, or to, you can still love someone and say, I'm not going to do that. That doesn't mean you don't love them, right? So, and actually, people who don't have the boundaries are usually pretty miserable because they are giving, 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 and then they have nothing left for themselves. So I would continue to follow what Eckhart says and to not take things personally, to watch your ego and your pain body, see when it comes up, but you can also see it in somebody else. Um, and there is a little bit of a space. I remember when I first started really following Eckhart, and of course, what I do for a living is I help people. But I had got myself into such a space that all their problems seemed like nothing to me. But to them, they were big problems. They were big issues. It's kind of, again, like his story of the lady that kept running to him, and then she's got all these papers and she's making a fuss, and then all of a sudden she stops and she says, "This is not a big deal, is it?" And he's like, "No, it's not. It's not a big deal, right?" Everything in life usually works out. A lot of things take a long time to work out, but they usually work out. Especially, and worry doesn't make things work out. Worry doesn't fix anything. So that's what I would practice, and you can definitely have boundaries. You want to have boundaries. So this is from the new course that he has. Yeah.
I think so. Either it's in the new course or it may be a question asked in this group, but I cannot remember now. I think I should make a note on my phone. Where did I source the question from? Because it's like over a period of time, past 2 months that I've collected the questions. So beautiful. Eternally grateful, April, always on point. Thank you so much for your input. You know, here this is how to not become passive and naive. They are souls that they are separate from others and inflict so much pain and suffering. I have compassion for them. So when we have compassion does not mean that we have to become passive and naive, right? They don't, we don't become having compassion for somebody that is inflicting pain and suffering upon the world. So yesterday, Eckhart had not Facebook, like he had a live session with members of the Eckhart Tolle website. Like when we subscribe, do the monthly membership, for all the members, he had a live session, and he just gave a talk for an hour 15 minutes or something. And right there he actually brought up that a lot of people are getting upset with him these days, that he does not speak up about the atrocities that are happening, whether it's Gaza or Ukraine or whatever, wherever the atrocities are happening, that he doesn't speak up. And he's like, I have been talking about the unconsciousness of the world for decades. I've been speaking up about it for decades, right? So just and like people are accusing him of spiritual bypass or like being passive. Exactly this accusation, right? That he's being very passive and naive, and he's not making a stance about it, because publicly he never makes a statement. I see Marianne Williamson, because she's a little bit politically oriented, she'd make a statement, right? A public statement. They'll post it on her social media, Facebook group, or somewhere on Instagram, that, oh, she'll post a prayer. It's still spiritual, but she makes a statement about it, right? But like he doesn't make a statement, so people are thinking that he is passive and naive. So and just like April stated, our job on this earth, right, April, is to have that unconditional love, no matter what is going on the face of this planet, right? Whether there's a war in Iran, or whether there's a war in Ukraine, or whether there's war in Gaza, it's like our job is to, what is in our heart. Once we see that scene of some kind of violence being inflicted in Iran, it's like, how are we, what is our being? When you talk about self-love, right? It's like, how are we in our state of being? Are we getting agitated? Are we getting, or are we becoming, those are unconscious people inflicting pain and suffering on each other, right? That I am going to be compassionate and I'm not going to do anything about it. It's not that. It's like, we need to get into that state of unconditional love. that we understand both sides of it. It's okay. I mean, my job is to bring that love and spread that love to the world, right? And Dr. Joe's, quite a few groups within Dr. Joe's community, immediately the moment the war in Iran happened, like we had got into group meditations of 300 people or 400, 500 people, and we sent love to Mother Earth, right? And it was a beautiful meditation where Dr. Joe like guides you to put your love at the center of the earth, and then let that love radiate out onto the, I mean, that's what we are here for, is to still in the middle of chaos, be able to generate love in our state of being. Yeah, there's chaos out of the world. Yeah, there's infliction of pain and suffering. There are people who are unconscious that inflicts pain and suffering. But my job is to be in a state of love, correct? That's what you're saying, right, April?
Yeah, our job is to be in a state of love, because you also have to remember that everything is energy, and that energy emits out. Your thoughts are energy, they're forms, those emit out. The example is if I get on the bus or I get in a room and everybody is upset or everybody is grumpy, and then all of a sudden I'm kind of feeling grumpy, I have picked up on that energy. So when you hold that space within, that is the energy that you're putting off. That's the energy you're giving out. That's in your aura. And then that goes on to the next person, goes on to the next person. So it is our job to maintain ourselves, because essentially that's the only thing we can really do. And again, our energy then reverberates out to others. And then you also have research that has been done on people who meditate and on people who do healings, where what is the example of the monks? I can't remember how many. And then the crime rate in that town, in that city, went down because of this group of people getting together and meditating. So the thing about the groups is you have to realize that though it's lower level. That's ego, that's titles, that's labels. I'm Republican, I'm Democrat, I'm, those are all labels. No, you're a human being. You're a soul. That's what you are. These are all just labels and titles that have rules to them. That's not what you're really meant to be or who you're truly meant to be. You're meant to be a free, loving person. You don't need all these rules and regulations and groups that make you separate. When you're in a group, the group believes in certain things. You don't have to do that. And when you stop doing that and stop demanding that everybody believes the same, thinks the same, acts the same, feels the same, then you have unconditional love. You have acceptance for all. And then you don't really get upset because you're in a higher state of vibration. You're in a higher level, right? And that allows you to just accept everybody where they are, and you quit pushing for everybody to be the same. We can't be the same. How you can't be the same? How is Source supposed to know itself if everyone is identical? If everyone is the same? If we all think and believe and do the same thing? How is the Source supposed to have its experiences then? It can't. It can't learn anything or experience anything because we're all the same. We're doing the same things. We're not learning, expanding, or growing. And that is what life is about, is expansion and growth. You have to have differences, but you have to be okay with that.
Beautiful. Yes. Infinite gratitude, April. Always insightful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, I'll go to Lakshmi. Lakshmi, did you want to expand on what April just said?
So basically, I agree totally with everything that both of you, April and you, have mentioned. So, yeah, the question that I have right now is, let me go back to that question. It says, how to not become passive and naive. There are souls that are separate from others and inflict so much pain and suffering. I have compassion for them, My compassion is so strong that I might abandon this form. What does that mean that she wants to abandon this form?
I don't know if it was a she, but whoever this person is, they want to leave this earth. That's what
Oh,
I took. Like they want
okay,
to take their life or something.
okay. Yeah, so I will not speak about that particular sentence, but yes, there are no doubt there are people who are inflicting pain on others because they have suffered. That is all is there in their bank account. One can only give what is there in their account. And I remember Eckhart's wife, Kim Eng, mentioning that her dad was extremely unconscious. So he would tell her that if you don't do this, I'll kill you. And he would threaten her constantly. And as a kid, she was very, very scared of her dad. But one day, she was just so fed up that she said, "Go ahead, kill me." And and that is the boundary that she is putting, saying that, listen, I am going to do what I want to do. You cannot constantly keep on threatening me, and I'm not going to put up with this anymore. So you can be deeply compassionate, you can be loving that other person, you can definitely have all of that, but you also need to speak up. And when you are aligned to yourself so deeply that whatever comes through you will definitely reach the other person, and so I feel that that is what is needed, where you are not letting the other person walk all over you. That definitely is not spirituality. You have all that compassion, but at the same time you need to have that self love for yourself. Otherwise, this journey doesn't make any sense. So, you, to have that self love is to also speak up for yourself and to say that, listen, this is how much I have, I can do, and this is how much I cannot do. And if the person understands or not understand, it is not up to us, and that is all we can do, is to align ourselves so much that um, we listen to our own symphony that is playing, and when we are so deeply aligned, uh, beautiful things will happen. But I have one question, Poonam. Nobody is discussing, but a few people have come up and have disassociated themselves from Deepak Chopra, and I have been following him on Facebook and other places, YouTube and other places, and I also have started. I have unfollowed him everywhere because I don't want to be associated in any way with him. But what is wrong that these spiritual teachers are not? Is it the same answer again? Why they're not speaking about Iran or uh, Ukraine? Is is that same? Because you're
One,
in
one
not saying
second,
anything against Deepak Chopra.
1 second, Lakshmi. Whatever you said, I don't know if it was only for me, but we could not hear. We heard you as far as unfollow Deepak Chopra, but the rest of it, I think you had some network issue. So
Oh,
can
okay,
you do me
okay.
a favor, repeat it? We
Sure, sure.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Sorry.
my question is that in this case, I understand totally why the spiritual teachers are not talking about Iran or Ukraine. I totally understand that we have to be that light and spread that light. But in the case of, Epstein case, there are children who are as young as 9, 10, and 12 who are have been victims. So I feel that it is our duty to speak up and disassociate, especially if you have associated with that person in the past. But maybe I'm not too. I don't know. So I just need some light on that.
So I recently there's a podcaster, Next Level Soul. I don't know if you'll know. There's certain podcasters that bring on a lot of spiritual teachers or channelers or psychic mediums or mediums on their podcasts. I don't know if you'll follow this podcast called Next Level Soul. There was this channeler. I think she channels somebody called Theo. I don't know if you know who Theo is. It's like a certain group of entities. And the podcast host asked this channeler, I kind of knew the moment he asked the question. The podcaster is Alex Ferrari, and he asked once she was channeling Theo, he asked that entity Theo, why is it that when spiritual teachers, I know that he didn't use names because he would get defamed, right? Or legally this thing. He didn't use names, but he said, why is it that nothing is being said about these spiritual teachers? They've been spiritual teachers in the past. I don't know if he mentioned Osho's name or Muji's name or anybody's name. He said something about their spiritual teachers in the past. They did it. Now, currently, we have a spiritual teacher that has been involved in this thing, and nobody's speaking up, or there's no discussion about it. And Theo said, the moment you say that this person is doing this, right, we are in judgment. Even if it is Dr. Deepak Chopra, or whether we say Muji or we say Osho, right? Why did Osho do? Osho had whatever orgies, or I mean, allegedly, that's what is very commonly known about him, right? So the moment we say that the spiritual teacher did this, we are in judgment, and we need to learn not to have judgment, right? So it's okay.
You also need to figure out where you want to put your attention. It doesn't make what these people have done good or bad, but where do you want your attention to be? Do you want it on proving that they were bad, making sure everybody knows they're bad, unfollowing them, firing them? Not that you need to see them, not that you need to hire them or follow them, but where do you want your attention to be? Where do you want your energy to be?
Yeah,
you don't want to give it more energy. You're giving it more energy.
Okay.
Right.
Even on that, Lakshmi, that shows a sign as though I don't have those sexual addictions. Like, we're judging Dr. Deepak Chopra for having some kind of, if we were to say this person had that perversion or sexual addiction or something, then we're saying, I don't have that sexual addiction. I'm positive I do. Yeah, maybe I have, I don't know, like, we can, well, there's one time, and we discussed this like last week or the week before. There was one time somebody asked Eckhart, do you not have the ego? Do you have an ego? And Eckhart said, the moment I say that I don't have the ego, I have ego.
Yeah.
The moment I say Dr. Deepak Chopra is wrong, I have an ego. Right? That means I'm saying I'm so pure and whitewashed that I don't have that kind of addiction. I can only say, so the reason why I have compassion for people that have some form of perversion is I know how I love food, right? I can see when I see, of course, because of medical medium, I cannot do it anymore. If I see a potato chip, how much that pull of that potato chip has been in the past few years, in the past 20, 30 years, is I feel like I cannot stop myself. It just overcomes me. I want to eat that potato chip. I love fried food. Like in India, we make pakoras and all that, right? I love fried food. The moment there's fried food, I want to eat it, right? So if I have that kind of addiction, like each person has their own flavor, just because food is not a legal or moral addiction doesn't mean it's not an addiction, right? That perversion or that, like Eckhart says, right? It's egoic wanting. Like if people can understand that one part of the ego is the craving and wanting, for, oh, I need to go to Amazon and keep buying and clicking and keep buying and clicking and keep buying stuff. And now I got new stuff. Now again, next day I'm going to what people call retail therapy, right? That's an addiction. Why are you judging? Don't you have that addiction, but you're going to judge Epstein for having his addiction? His addiction is another flavor of your addiction. It's just Baskin Robbins, 30 flavors of addiction, right? Another person will have an addiction like, who is the great music vocalist? I forget her name. Bobby Brown was her...
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. There you go. Thank you. She had drug addiction, right? And they had the same sexual addiction. It's like such a great vocalist, but each person has an addiction, and that's what we are here to overcome. That whole self-love, or having that love, right, is having that be so full of presence that none of this, what is the so-called negative within us, is completely removed, or we have awareness that there may be that negativity. Just because I'm questioning somebody's anger doesn't mean I don't have anger anymore. Or just because I'm judging somebody's doesn't mean I have everything that everybody else in this world has. Because we are part of the same soul, that same consciousness, right? We think that people seem to think that anger, frustration, sexual addictions are something else. Everything that exists is that same consciousness. Even that addiction is that same consciousness. It's just creating a contrast. Does everybody realize that? Nothing can be infused. Like if we say a bud is consciousness pouring itself into it. The same way addiction is consciousness pouring itself into something what we labeled as kind of negative, right? But we have to realize we all have that addiction. We all have some form of addiction, right? Lakshmi, you may have an addiction to mantra chanting, right? You may be wanting every other this thing, and you're doing mantra chanting, right? So how can we say that we shouldn't have an addiction?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That would be judgment, Theo. And that's when I realized what it is everybody so judging everybody else, right?
Mhm.
Not realizing all of that exists within me,
Mhm.
or exists within Eckhart. Exists within Eckhart itself, and that's why they're not speaking about it, because they realize that, yeah, we understand that some part of like their human side took over them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's their beingness. In their beingness, they were incredibly amazing, mind-blowing spiritual teachers, but sometimes their human side overcomes them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In spite of their beingness. Does that make sense? Like in the field of spiritual teaching, they may be like, I think, I mean, Eckhart does not speak about the name, but I think Neil Donald Walsh, when he had a conversation with Eckhart, Neil himself admitted that in his personal life, he is not that good a person. Right? Mm-hmm. So a person on the surface may write conversations about God, may write books. When they speak, they're Like I'm sure Wayne Dyer, like initially when you say Wayne Dyer, he had an ego. Towards the end of his life, once he had the leukemia, he was a totally different person. But doesn't mean their human side doesn't take over just because they're spiritual. We kind of think that if they're spiritual, they're like Mahavatar, Babaji, or Jesus, that there's no flaw, that they shouldn't have any flaws, right, April? That's our expectation.
Yeah, and that's also ego, because we expect all of these spiritual people to be perfect.
mhm,
And perhaps that comes from our story of Jesus and how he was so perfect. We've kind of melded that into our every other spiritual leader. And, you know, in essence, yeah, it would be nice if they were perfect, and they are supposed to be, right? Supposed to be as an expectation on a spiritual journey. But that's just it. They're on a spiritual journey. So that means they're working on themselves. That means
mhm.
they are human. And to be human means you have flaws, but you are meant to have flaws, because how else will you grow if you don't have any flaws? And I'm not condoning anybody's behavior, but what I would say is, you know, we don't want to have perfect expectations, and you want to choose where your energy would go. So it would be more helpful to actually send healing to the people who were affected,
Yes.
and send
Yes.
healing, right?
Yes.
It would be more beneficial to put your energy
Mhm.
there. But
I
of course,
agree.
the reason they're not talking about it is because they, for one, if they were involved, they don't want to make a public statement that, you know, about that. There's probably potentially legal issues coming, so they don't want
Mm.
to make any statements, and because of that, right? Yeah. So, you know, they're not going to make any comments, but and there are some out there that are saying, you know, these people are not good, but it's really, I would prefer to put the energy in a better space.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Okay,
because,
Yeah.
yeah.
understand.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And I'm not followed. I know kind of like very vaguely that something is going on with the Epstein files, but just like April says, I am so involved in my meditations and in my group work that I have no time to go figure out what is going on with this whole Epstein thing. Like I don't even know what the background is. I just know it's a thing that is taken over since last year or last 2 years. Constantly it comes up in the news, right? So, and I get feeds on my YouTube as well, but I don't ever watch them. Like what is the story, or what is the background? Just like April is saying, don't give it attention. Where attention goes, energy flows, and I don't want my energy flowing.
Well, we don't want the energy focused there either, because we want change and we want growth. We
Correct.
don't want it focused on those bad things, those negative things, because we want us as a species, as beings, as souls to
Mhm.
evolve, right?
Correct.
So that's also why we don't want, I see some people are just so consumed by that. They're consumed by the political stuff. And what you don't realize is because you're so consumed by it, it has
You're
taken
energizing
you
it.
over.
Mhm.
Therefore,
Mhm.
you're not growing, you're stuck, because all you can think about is how much you hate a certain person. That's not growth, right? So I been sending just healing to all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Joe's groups have been doing. We've been doing healing for the world, like over and over and over. And now it's become like a monthly thing. We've done healing sessions as a group. So yeah, that's what we can do, is just feel love, right? Lakshmi, let the world heal. Let their hearts heal, right? Get filled with love, just like we
Yep.
fill our lives with love. Actually, Eckhart in You Are This Sky talks about it. What April is saying, that when we give attention, we amplify, whatever the flaw is, we amplify the flaw. And we're
Mhm.
thinking that the other person is doing it,
Yep.
that they're becoming larger, they're becoming a much more bigger right here, or more violent. Like if you give attention to, oh, how many mass shootings are happening in this world, more mass shootings will happen because we are energizing it by giving attention to mass shootings and mass shooting. Oh, the little children are passing away. And then that'll be another spiritual bypass, right? Like people will say, oh, now you're spiritually bypassing because you're saying, oh, this mass shooting, I'm not going to do anything about it. No, I'm doing what I can do, which is if there's some funding that needs that's being this thing, okay, you fund that, and then give love, right? Open your hearts, keep your brain and heart coherent. Keep your heart very, very coherent, full of love.
Yeah.
Patricia's, yes, why?
I just wanted to say that, pardon me, that what you and Ann have said
April.
is, yeah, it's just a bullseye for me. And it has underscored what I realized recently, but I'm going to summarize it this way, which is in my life, whenever I obsess on people, places, or things, I put my energy and focus there. It's in direct proportion to the hole inside me that I don't want to deal with. I would rather run away from. And it occurred to me what I was doing, and it's been this, people do this a lot, that what I did was I projected my self-hate onto other people so I could justify victimizing myself, making them responsible for really what my ego was totally not willing to be accountable for. And the other thing I want to say quickly, and I'm so grateful to you and Ann, and for this
April.
whole thing, yeah, but is that this is for me the added inspiration to pull out the key of gratitude, unlock the adversity so that I can live the lessons of what this is all about, because this is foundational. And when I'm living in what you and Ann have shared here, then I don't need to double down on anything because I'm just in this moment and this moment and this moment. And that underscores for me the freedom to walk away from anyone who's the opposite of that, like my older sister or like what, okay, name April Ann, thank you for that. I said that recently that I saw as a little boy that something wasn't right in the family dynamic. And now that I've seen it and heard what was shared by the two of you on this call, it simply more clearly defines that what I need to be doing is exactly what the two of you were talking about. So I just wanted to say thank you. Appreciate it a lot.
Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Eternally
Thank you.
grateful for your input as well. Eternally grateful to you too, Lakshmi, for bringing up, bubbling up that conversation, right? Infinite gratitude, always.
I have to leave now. I have to leave now for my yoga
Sure.
class. Thank you.
Sure.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Lakshmi.
Bye.
Patricia, I know you're on the phone. Did you want to just speak instead of being on video? Patricia, are you able to speak? There you are.
Sorry, yes, my laptop all of a sudden just stopped, couldn't get the Wi-Fi, even though I do have Wi-Fi and everything else. I don't know what happened with my laptop. And so I had to connect on the phone, and I missed a little bit of it, of a conversation, but in the beginning I was following, and I absolutely agree with whatever, you, April, and Lakshmi were saying, as far as being compassionate and yet not feeling like you're being passive or you're not doing anything. Because I think that ego likes action, but it's more of a reactive action. So it almost feels that if I'm just sitting here in stillness, that's somehow less valuable than just going out there throwing rocks or doing something. So that's being and doing, but keeping that frequency, that energy of higher vibrations, that's doing something. And I think as far as the vibrational energy is concerned, this is more powerful than the actions sometimes. Just being non-reactive and keeping that energy and actually focuses to where it needs to go more mindfully, like April was talking about, and you all were talking about. You need to pay attention. You need to choose where you want to put your energy into. You want to heal, you want to reconnect or align yourself with the source. That's what's going to heal. The rest, like if you're healing yourself, you're healing the whole. That's actually what one of the meditation, Dr. Joe's meditation, the Walk for the World, was about. So that's the action. You're taking responsibility for my part. Can I do something? If that's important action can be taken, yes, do it, but not to waste your energy, but to really make a difference. And if I am like upset, frustrated, and I'm reacting out of that, I don't think my action will do much good. It will, if anything, it will add to the problem. So always putting yourself in that position of, I want to send love. And if in the moment I'm feeling uneasy, like Eckhart said, if something is not, that's not the time to heal others. This is the time to focus on yourself in a good way. And it's not a selfish way. It's just that, what do I broadcast from myself? Is it the frustration? Is it fear? Is it worry? Or is peace and love and forgiveness and compassion? So I don't think compassion could ever be passive. It may be passive. It looks passive on the form, on the level of like physical action. Yeah, sitting, it's not the same as running. I understand. Sitting in meditation doesn't look like you're doing much, but it's not, the impact of it is many times deeper than actual action in the physical world. So that's what I would say.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank
Infinite
you.
gratitude. Thank you for your input as well. And people may say, people on the surface who are not used to meditation may say, or doing group work, getting into a meditation with a group and doing, with that, I'll ask you, this Sunday you did meditation with 500 people. What difference did it make? Let people know. What difference did it make for you this week? Did it make a difference, your work week so far?
Huge. Yes, it did. It I noticed like slight differences that I don't even have to do much, but somehow the circumstances of things happen in the preferable way, because I was able to take myself out of the crazy busy stuff and just do that meditation. It was quite powerful. I loved it. That's the thing. It's like we don't realize, even you, when you do the healing sessions, you're generating it out of you, which in a way also healing you on the way out. Like, it's like it cannot change the source. It's coming from the source, which is, from you. You're generating it, so it's healing you first, I guess, before.
When you
Then-
send that healing energy out to the world, correct?
Yes. So your
Beautiful.
intention is, right? Your intention when you go, it's the selfless giving, opening your heart and healing another person. So that's your intention, but it's coming through you. So it's healing you as well. That's how I see it. And you're not doing, I'm gonna,
Heal the world.
heal the world in a sense that my intention is to be that amazing person. Look at me, I'm so selfless, I'm gonna heal the world. In the meantime, I'm a wreck. That doesn't work like that. So it's always the beginning. It starts with us. So what
Beautiful.
we offer out there.
With that, I wanted to close it with just as and Josie and Jonathan joined. So thank you, Josie and Jonathan, joining us online. They're listening to us while we are speaking. Dr. Joe Dispenza actually, not only Dr. Joe Dispenza, out of Dr. Joe Dispenza's group, there's an 11-year-old girl who has been doing meditation since she was 6 years old. She posted a YouTube video about a paper that was recently published by the HeartMath Institute about the effects Dr. Joe's coherence healing sessions have on the planet. Like they say, HeartMath Institute has these random number generators all across the planet that measure the frequency at which we are at as the whole Earth. And they say that 2,000 people doing this coherence healing, they bring these random number generators into coherence. Just 2,000 people in Marco Island, Florida, or 2,000 people in Cancun, Mexico, or 2,000 people in Denver, Colorado, makes such a huge difference, right? So the more and more, instead of focusing on Epstein or focusing on whatever outside the external world, if we can bring it to the inner and get into a group and see if you can get into coherence with that group and do the meditation and send out the love, that will be more healing for this planet. That is what this planet needs, is more love, right? Right, April? We all need more love. Okay, with that, it's been incredibly amazing. April, so good to have you back. Whenever you can, please do come join us. It is always an honor and a privilege. Thank you for choosing your divinity over your humanity. Many blessings, everyone. Much love. Have a good night.
Thank you, Poonam.
Have a fantastic week. Bye.
Blessings.
Thank you. Many blessings. Bye.